Okay, so I had a request to do more videos, so I thought I would do a video on my impending 26th birthday, which is on Saturday. And I was reading one of those thought catalog lists where it was like 25 things to do before you turn 25, and I think those lists are bullshit. I don't think you can say these are the things you must do and have it make any sense. I do, however, think that personal anecdotes wherein you say, when I turn 25, I blah, 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 makes a little more sense because then, it's coming from a personal aspect point of view and you can say, this worked for me or this is how it happened instead of some sort of absolute everyone must do it this way kind of thing, which is bullshit. So what was I going to say? Oh, as many of you know, a couple years ago, I moved home for 2 years and lived in the back of my parents' house. That was some dark times in my life, but I also kind of learned a lot in those 2 years living in the back room, lovingly known as the cat hole, which was where I shared living quarters with like 20 cats. I don't want to explain that. I got to observe my parents as adults, as humans, as people who weren't just my parents. I got to see them as they were. And that was kind of fascinating to see them in relation to them and not in relation to me. It was also kind of hard to try to get them to treat me like an adult and not like a parent. I mean, not like a child since I was, living in the back of their house. I also, spent a lot of time not seeing anybody but them and my cats and watching films. And in that time, I did a lot of soul searching, as they say. And I kind of figured out who I was in relation to me and not in relation to a boyfriend, not in relation, like I've ever had a boyfriend, in relation to other people, in relation to friends, in relation to anybody. It was just me. And not everyone is able to have that much time to just think about themselves, which is kind of a shame since, I think it's important to figure out who you are as in regards to yourself and not in regards to other people. Because true happiness, I think, is loving yourself. And, it took me a very long time to come to terms with who I was as a person and what I wanted. And I know that, I'm going to have to work hard to get to what I want, and I might not ever get there. And that's okay because personally, I plan to live to be 106, in which case I have another 80 years to get there, and that's a lot of damn time. And now I'm rambling. And I was going to say something a lot more profound, and now I can't remember what it was. Oh, yes. Figuring out who you are, that's important, and being happy with where you're at, even if where you're at sucks, because most of the time where you're at is going to suck unless you can find the little tiny pieces of shimmering happiness, which for me, at that time, living in the back of my parents' house in the middle of nowhere, was Turner Classic Movies, which I don't know why I'm not a spokesperson for them because I watched a lot of movies on that channel. That's neither here nor there. I discovered who I was and I discovered what I loved, and that's what I'm trying to do now. And I feel like a lot of people in their early 20s, all they do is try to figure out, what their career is going to be and who they're going to marry or at least date. And that's, you got a bajillion years to do that. And with the way science is going now, if you want children, you could probably have children at 50 by the time you get to 50. So figure out who you are. Work a shitty job. Like, fuck it. Work at McDonald's. Work at fucking Walgreens. It doesn't matter. Work anywhere that will pay you and you get to meet other people, and then you'll get to see a little bit of everything. Even if you have a freaking bachelor's degree. I have a bachelor's degree. I'm working at a movie theater. I'm in the middle of a master's program, and I kind of love working in a movie theater. I get paid $10.25 to not burn popcorn, and it gives me more time to think, more time to work on my screenplay, and time to interact with, really great people, really shitty people, a little bit of everything. And, that's another thing I think is important. Meet the stupid people in the world. Get used to the stupid people. Get used to treating stupid people well, because stupid people are still people. I guess that's it. And I'm off.